don't exactly prove anything. It's just part of the
well,
picture.
You said it provided a motive, and the prosecuting attorney said the same thing. I don't think that was...
Listen, I have. Now sit down and don't open your mouth again.